The Boykin Spaniel is the official state dog of South Carolina. It's a beloved hunting companion and one of the most underestimated dogs in all of America. But although this dog looks like a cuddly lap dog, don't forget, this breed was designed to run in swamps and flush birds all day in brutal heat. If you don't match its energy, it could be trouble. So let's talk all about the Boykin Spaniel. The Boykin Spaniel was originally developed in the early 20th century in Camden, South Carolina. The hunters there needed a dog that could travel in small boats, traverse through swamps, and flush the birds they were hunting. The Boykin's genetic baseline is stamina, high drive, and a strong desire to work. Why is that important? As with any dog, we need to know their genetics and their background so we can best satisfy their instinctive needs. Does this mean that you can't have a Boykin if you live in an apartment? No, but it does mean you need to be prepared to make sure that you're fulfilling that dog's genetic instinctual needs on a daily basis. The Boykin was primarily bred from Springer Spaniels, Cocker Spaniels, and the legendary Chesapeake Bay Retriever. The Boykin's purpose was flushing and retrieving ducks and small birds from swampy, wet areas, which is exactly where this compact breed dominates. So how big can you expect a Boykin Spaniel to actually get? Male Boykin Spaniels are going to be somewhere between 15 to 18 inches in height and weigh somewhere between 30 to 40 pounds. And female Boykins are going to be somewhere between 14 inches to 16 and a half inches high and weigh somewhere between 25 to 35 pounds. Their coat is a rich liver color or chocolate brown with a slight wave or curl to the coat. What about Boykin Spaniel health considerations? They're generally considered pretty healthy dogs. The average Boykin lifespan is going to be somewhere between 14 to 16 years old when they are well cared for. Hip dysplasia is a common health consideration for Boykin Spaniels. You want to make sure that you're setting your Boykin up for success before you even get one. That means checking out the breeder and their bloodline to make sure they don't have a history of hip dysplasia in their bloodline. Boykins are also at risk for potentially having exercise-induced collapse. If your Boykin is doing strenuous activity for a period of time, there is the potential that they could collapse from that strenuous activity. You're going to want to make sure that you check out your breeder and ask them to show you their EIC DNA results on their bloodline so you can ensure that you're not getting a Boykin from a bloodline that has an EIC potential. Boykins can be predisposed to hereditary cataracts and other eye issues. This is why you're going to want to make sure that you get a CAER, which is the Companion Animal Eye Registry check done on the parents via the breeder as you're looking at breeders to get a Boykin from. In addition to that, you're going to want to make sure that when you have your Boykin, that you have regular eye examinations completed with an animal eye specialist for your Boykin to keep tabs on any potential issues that are coming up. If you're asking a Boykin breeder about any of these health issues, a legitimate breeder will welcome the questions and be ready to answer them. If you stumble upon a breeder that seems a little offended or doesn't like the questions, that's a red flag. Steer away. Let's talk about feeding your Boykin very quickly. Should you feed a raw diet or a kibble diet? How much does your Boykin actually eat? This is going to be dependent on you, your budget, your preferences, and your Boykin, how much you're actually working with them. For a mid to higher quality kibble, the Boykin is going to cost about $40 to $80 per month to feed them a kibble diet. If you're feeding your Boykin a raw or a fresh food diet, that's going to cost somewhere between $80 to $150 per month. The investment into raw or fresh food does typically pay off in long-term health. However, with budgetary constraints, you might find it easier to have a kibble base to your food with some raw or fresh food topper on top of the kibble. This is a great way to balance out food costs and long-term health benefits so that your Boykin can thrive as long as possible. Let's talk real quick about exercise for your Boykin Spaniel. This is going to come down to you, your preferences, and what you have available to you. So some things you could be doing: walking your Boykin, teaching them how to walk properly on a loose leash. Another thing you could do is swimming, hiking. If you're doing any type of hiking, I definitely recommend off-leash training as well, so you can give your Boykin the freedom to be a Boykin and recall them back to you to ensure their safety as needed. And if you're doing any type of field work or field trialing with your dogs, this is also a great form of exercise for them. But what does not count as exercise is unsupervised play in the backyard. This is not very structured, and while yes, your Boykin might be running around, it is not going to satisfy their mental exercise needs. There is the potential for some physical exercise development there, but it's really not the same as if you were doing structured physical exercise with your dog, like the list we've already talked about. Can Boykins live in an apartment? Absolutely, but you have to be completely focused on your Boykin and satisfying their instinctive needs. If you just expect to go to work all day, come home and sit on the couch, the Boykin Spaniel is probably not the dog for you. Are Boykin Spaniels easy to train, or are they stubborn? The honest answer is they're completely highly trainable. These dogs love to work, they love to be with you, and when you start your training regimen with them, they are ready to go. But you have to be doing your training the right way. Make sure you're taking your time, that you have a good training strategy where the foundation of your training is relationship and engagement. After that, as you develop all the behaviors that you're working on, you and your Boykin will thrive. And don't worry, I have plenty of videos that show you how to do all of this stuff on our YouTube channel, so check that out after this video. Are Boykin Spaniels good family dogs with kids and other pets? Absolutely, but you have to make sure that you're doing your training the right way and that you're establishing the correct rules, boundaries, and expectations with your Boykin. But genetically, they are a great family dog, no doubt about it. What about Boykin Spaniel separation anxiety? Well, you have to ensure that you're doing healthy separation from your Boykin as soon as you get it, because this dog will bond to you. That bond can create some separation anxiety. So make sure you're doing healthy separation. I usually start with this with a crate. That way the dog is not always with you. Your Boykin can be in the crate in another room while you're moving throughout the house. Then once you get your downstay and your place command done, you can use those to your advantage as well to prevent separation anxiety from even starting in your Boykin in the first place. What about Boykin Spaniel grooming and bathing? Well, first of all, do Boykin Spaniels even shed? They are considered medium, moderate shedders, and you do want to make sure that you're brushing them out at least 3 times per week, especially around their ears and in their armpits. Although their fur isn't too long, they are susceptible to some matting in those areas if you don't brush them out regularly. And I do have a video on brushing on our channel, so check that out to make sure you know what you're doing. I would usually bathe them when they need it, maybe every couple of weeks unless they get really dirty. I would clean out their ears weekly. Remember how we talked about that moisture in their ears? We want to prevent any ear issues from happening, and trim their nails as you need to, maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how fast your Boykin actually grows their nails. Is the Boykin Spaniel the right dog for you? Well, based on everything we talked about, you'll have to make that decision for yourself. But remember, you do need to make sure that you're satisfying their daily mental and physical needs on a daily basis. And if you do that, you and your Boykin will have a great life together. These are great dogs. I always enjoy working with them. And if you're thinking about it, it's probably a good decision for you. And if you want to learn more about one of the ancestors of the Boykin Spaniel, you can check out the information on the Chesapeake Bay Retriever, the legendary Chessie, right here in this video. I'll see you there.